Merce, where did it all start for you when you was at school? At what age was you like, people saw you and went, bleeding hell, this kid can play? Was it where?
To be fair, Harry, in them days, there wasn't any academies like there is now. I mean, Freddie's 6 and he's at Arsenal and Chelsea at the moment. And it's nothing like that. I mean, it's mind-blowing, some of the stuff these kids can do now with the ball. And it was just like, my dad, it's just, if it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't have been a footballer. It was easy as that. It's the sacrifice taking me down the park. And then I started playing for a couple of Sunday teams. I played for Belmont United and Forest United, who Tim Sherwood played for, and a few other lads. So, and then you get picked by the district. And I was playing at Brent at the time. And then Watford coming for me. A man called Tommy Darling come in and said, would you come to Watford? And I loved it there. Absolutely loved it. I remember I smashed my knee up on the estate where I moved on to a council estate. And I remember having to go to Watford to see Bertie Mee, God bless him, the great Bertie Mee. And he said to me, your knee will be all right. It'll be all right. You'll be able to play football again. And for 2 years, I was going training with Watford from 12 to 14. And then Arsenal coming for me. And my dad's a massive Arsenal fan. And he wanted me to sign for Arsenal. And I didn't want to sign. I didn't. I loved it at Watford. I didn't think I was great. I just thought I struggled with my nerves, and I thought I might have a chance at Watford. It was a great little club. And I still remember today, I'm 53 now, and I was 14. I still remember running up the stairs at 1 o'clock in the morning, crying my eyes out because I just signed for Arsenal. Because I just didn't want to sign. But
thank God. Happy at Watford.
Yeah, but thank God I listened to my dad in the end. My God.
Yeah. Great move for you. But brilliant, though. Great. Was there other clubs after you, Merce, or was you an England schoolboy international? Or?
No, a million miles. I played for the district. I played for the county once when they were desperate for players. Honestly, when they were desperate for players.
Isn't it amazing?
I played for the county once, and that was it. I mean, I try and tell these dads now when you go to these academies, for how great these kids are, they still got another 10 solid years. Do you know what I mean? 10 solid years.
I know.
But you can see the way they're producing them now. When you see your Fodens and what Sterling was doing the year before, and Grealish and Mount and James. I mean, the kids coming through now, it's different, isn't it? They're so quick and comfortable on the ball.
I mean, I'm like Merce. I lived on a massive council estate, so there was so many kids there, and like whoever had the football, you was the king of the estate. You had a ball, plastic, one of the old Fido used to spat £4 bob.
Yeah,
the old
wall was ball.
And you had the ball, so you was like captain, weren't you? You'd pick the team,
until the neighbour put a knife in it, and then that was it.
Yeah, that's what used to happen to us.
Yeah, all the time.
We had the porters would come round. You had like porters who would look after the estate, 3 or 4 of them, and they'd chase you off and try to grab your ball and nick your ball off you. And then one of the dads, there was all dockers, my dad was a docker, and then they'd come out and they'd go and knock on, get up porter and scare him to death and get the ball back, And that was how it was. It was another world, but we just played football in there.
I mean, I used to play in the street and then we'd go down the park. And on a Saturday, my mum would say, my mum and dad, you can go down the park, make sure you're back before dark. I mean, that was at like 8 and 9 and 10. I mean, there was no worries. I wouldn't let my kids to the end of the road now.